So Denver Urban Gardens, we are one of the largest nonprofit independent community garden organizations in the U.S. Hi, my name is Judy Elliott. I'm Director of Compost and Garden Education with Denver Urban Gardens. Actually, I go by Jungle Judy. So Jungle Judy came from the time many years ago when I spent 4 years in the Peace Corps teaching integrated agriculture in Brazil. And people just started calling me Judy of the Jungle, and then it became Jungle Judy. I'm so glad we're filming here. It is very urban, it is very loud. When we teach compost classes, we have microphones to drown out the noise. I mean, it's part of it, isn't it? I mean, this is Denver Urban Gardens. You know, we're right here on Colorado Boulevard. What we have here are a series of compost bins, and I like to say that no matter what you use, if you use a cement bin, this is a holding structure. If you use our little pallet bins here, these are turning systems. No matter what type of holding structure you use, the process is the same for creating compost. And in organic gardening that we do, compost is the decomposed product after time with the help of microorganisms to create really healthy soil. How do you do it? We like to say that it's just like 5 conditions for you to thrive. We need a diverse diet and water and exercise and a roof over our head. And voila, our compost bin, which is basically a cubic yard of diameter, is the minimum diameter that our compost microorganisms need. It needs a diverse diet. So diverse diet means that we use leaves from the fall. No meat, fat, cheese, or bones belongs in a compost pile. You need to provide air. So we turn the pile every 2 weeks. 2 to 3 inches of green material, a sprinkling of soil. Turn it on a weekly basis. Keep it as moist as a wrung-out sponge. That's the water that we need. So the microorganism's body needs to be covered. When we started this pile, this was April 26th, and it didn't look anything like it did now. So this is what it looks like now. But look how pretty it is. It's got some old flowers, some larkspur in. So a compost pile can be very beautiful. You can see already is some material that's starting to break down. This is April 26th. In about 2 months, I'm going to have usable compost here, which is pretty amazing. I would say that most people in Denver, unless you're living in Aurora, you're dealing with a heavy clay soil. Can I really grow anything here? The roots don't grow down. It cracks when it's dry. How do I grow in your soils? And what you need to know is you're never going to not have a heavy clay soil. What you need to do is 1.5 inches of that wonderful plant-based compost that you're creating right at home. Spread it on top of your soil before you turn it in the spring and dig it into the top 2 inches. That's what you need to do. This is a plot which has compost spread up on top of it. Before this garden is ready to plant, the compost needs to be dug into the top couple of inches. In other words, don't leave it as a top dressing. It needs to be incorporated in. You even get a tour of the worm box today. Would you like to see what we have in here? And let's dig down and see if we can't find anything. This is richer in all major and minor nutrients than even backyard composting is. Isn't this beautiful? Look at this stuff. This is to die for, it really is. Yes, you can buy commercial good quality compost, but doing your own at home is a way of knowing exactly, sourcing locally, decreasing your carbon footprint because material doesn't need to travel. Plus you know exactly what went into the product that you're producing. I'd love if I get 10 people to say, yes, I can do this. Then I'll feel like we're doing just a fabulous job at D.U.G.